this video, we will be showing you how to use the Fluency for Transcription editor system. The objectives of this video are as follows. Number one, we will look at the work list and the document queue, showing you how to log in, identify urgent dictations, search and reserve documents from the work list, save search filters, and download documents from the document queue. After this, we will look at the demographics, ADT, and recipient screen. Here we will show you how to update the dictator, update the document type, review mandatory fields, mark a document for manual printing, update the patient and encounter details, and add and remove a recipient and CC. Next, we will look at transcribing the document. This includes reviewing and updating the dictation, editing the dictation, inserting a QA marker, inserting a standard, inserting and creating expansions, and then saving and uploading the transcription. Finally, we will show you how to print and conduct a document search using Ambulatory and Manager. Here you can identify the job action icons, print and clear printed documents from the pending list, understand the document stages, customize and save a search, and review the audio and job audit. Upon opening Fluency for Transcription Editor, you'll be prompted to log in using your username, password, and company ID. The company ID for Editor is 506187. Please note, any editor passwords will need to be reset in Fluency for Transcription Manager using the aforementioned company ID. After entering your credentials and company ID, you'll be taken into the default Control Center page. This page consists of a productivity overview and two tabs, the job queue and the work list. Please note, when a tab is selected, it appears white. This tells us that we are currently in the job queue. The job queue will show an individual's dictations to transcribe. All dictations that have been reserved by a secretary will be removed from the specialty work list and placed here, ready to be actioned. Please note, if the secretary does not action these reserved jobs within 45 minutes, the unactioned dictations will return to the work list for somebody else to reserve. This is an added safety feature so that in the event of absence, the work is still accessible. As you can see, the job queue is currently blank. No dictations have been reserved yet. Next, we will look at the work list. All dictations for your specialty will appear here. If you work closely with a particular dictator, you can utilize the search by field in order to filter the list. You can also save this for future use. To remove these filters, click Clear Search Result. As you can see, these letters are filtered with an S at the top and then filtered from oldest to most recent. The S icon indicates that this is a stat letter, therefore is urgent. Once you are happy with your selected dictations, tick the box and then click Reserve. This will pull the job from the work list into your job queue. You can reserve multiple jobs, but please be aware that any unactioned jobs will bounce back into the work list after 45 minutes. You can see that once a job has been reserved, it is physically removed from the list. This is similar to the locking feature in Big Hand. However, the reserved document is no longer visible from the work list. We will now return to the job queue to download and edit the letter. Similarly to the work list, all stat documents will be at the top. As you can see on this page, patient details are anonymized. If you would like to see these, select Show Job Summary, and it will give you a drop-down including patient information. If you have reserved a job in error, you can select Unreserve to bounce it back into the work list. When you're ready to edit a document, select Download. This will take you into the ADT demographic screen. On the left-hand side, you can see information relating to the client facility, work type, dictator, etc. Here, you can also change the dictator if need be. Click the three-dot menu, and then you can change the recipient of this document to sign it off. Likewise, if the work type or letter template needs to be changed, you can select the three-dot menu and do the same here. In the centre of the page, you can see the mandatory fields and additional fields for the patient and their visit. Using the Find Field option in the top, you can add additional fields to this. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a QA note. This will tell you any notes that have been left for you by the clinician, for example, scheduling a follow-up. Finally, on this screen, we will look at the recipient list. This is in the top right-hand corner. Looking at this will show you both the addressee and the CC of the letter. All letters have a maximum of one addressee, and this is typically defaulted as the GP. You can add a new recipient by selecting New. To exit the recipient list, select OK, and then select OK once again to enter the body of the letter. Please note, if you need to revisit the demographic screen, select Ctrl+D to return. Now we're in the main body of the letter, we can edit it. The first thing you need to be aware of is karaoke mode. Looking in the top left-hand side of the screen, you can see a play button. Playing this will replay the dictation whilst also highlighting the body of the text as it goes along. Please note, Fluency for Transcription Editor is also compatible with foot pedals. Before editing the body of the text, it is important to firstly go to the Tools icon and select Formatted Document View at the bottom. This will give you a print preview of the document. Please note, you cannot edit the document on this screen. This is simply here to give you an overview of what the letter will look like once printed. Now we will look on the left-hand side of the screen in the client profile. Firstly, we will look at headings. Here you can select a heading to add to the body of the text from a predetermined list by either selecting Preferred Headings or More Headings for more advanced options. If you would like to add a custom heading, you can select the body of the text and select Ctrl+Shift+H and then type your example heading. Next, we will look at adding standards. Firstly, you'll need to select the standard button in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and this will bring you a list of predetermined standards that have been set up by your clinician or a standard as part of the template. To insert a standard, you must select the standard that you would like to insert and then click the Insert button. In this example, we have added a postscript standard. This is useful for adding bodies of text that you would like to appear after the signature but before the CCs of the letter. Finally, for this part of the screen, we will look at the job search. Clicking this, you can search for historical documents for the patient and also the dictator. Now we will return to the client profile and continue editing the document. There may be instances where in the body of the text something doesn't make sense, or you'll need to follow up with your clinician and ask them a question. To do this, you will need to insert a QA marker. QA markers can be added by selecting the area of the text that you would wish to ask a question for example, the 6-week follow-up. Here, I can go to the QA marker icon at the top, select Insert, and this will block the clinician from signing off the letter until this issue has been addressed. Once you have added a QA marker, you can clarify the nature of the QA marker within the QA notes. The QA marker tells the clinician that they need to look at the notes prior to signing off the document. In order to make the process clear, and if you are using several QA markers, please order them chronologically so the clinician is able to identify which note matches with which marker. You are able to edit the text in the same way that you would on a Word document, simply highlighting the areas you would like to get rid of and selecting Delete. As you can see, each area of the text does include brackets. Please note, if these brackets are filled, you do not need to get rid of them on the main body of the text. If a bracket is unfilled, these will need to be removed, otherwise they will appear on the printed version of the letter. To further edit the text, you can go to the Edit option at the top, and here you can bold, italic, underline, toggle list, increase indent, decrease indent, etc. You can also do this by using some commands on the keyboard. If you are unsure of the commands, you can go to the help icon, click commands, and you will then see a list of different commands you can use to edit the document. We will now also look at expansions. Okay, to do this, you will need to go to the tools icon, select expansion settings, ensure that the enable expansions box is ticked, and then you can write what you intend to write and what you would like to replace it with. So now when I write tell 7 in the body of the text, the alternative text will appear instead. You are also able to adjust the accessibility features in Tools as well. To do this, click the Tools icon, select Options, and go to the Editor tab. Here you can change the font size, the background colour, the font itself, etc. Please note this won't affect the outcome of the letter. This is purely for your comfort when editing the document. As previously mentioned, foot pedal devices are compatible with Fluency for Transcription Editor. Simply go to Audio, ensure the correct foot pedal is linked with the system, and then you can utilise the foot pedal buttons configuration to determine how you would like to use your foot pedals on the system. Once you are happy with the edits you have made on the body of the text, simply go to Tools and back to Formatted Document View. Again, here you can see a print preview of the document prior to uploading. As you can also see, the QA marker is included in the body of the text. Please do not worry about this, since the QA marker will block the clinician from signing it off until it has been removed. Here you can also see the information about the GP surgery, the patient, the signature, and the CC have all been included as part of the template itself. Once you are happy with the document, or if you would like to bounce it back to the work list, you can select one of the three options above: upload, abandon, or break. If you are happy with the document and you'd like to send it for sign-off, click upload. This will send the document back to your clinician, who can then sign it off. If you have made a mistake on the document or would like to bounce it back to the work list without the changes being saved, select abandon. If you would like to save your changes, yet bounce the document back to the work list to be picked up later on, select break. In this example, we will select upload and send it back to the clinician. Once clicking upload, you'll be prompted to complete a spell check. If the word is spelled correctly, you can select ignore. On this pop-up, it will ask you if you are happy to upload and get the next job, upload only, or upload and sign out. If you have reserved multiple jobs from the work list, clicking this will automatically open the next one. Clicking upload only will upload this document back to the clinician and then take you back to the control centre. And clicking upload and sign out will upload the document and sign you out of the system. Underneath this, you can see the playback analysis. The blue line indicates how much of the audio you have listened to for this document. Underneath this, you can see any QA markers, and there is also the option to clear them as well. Once you are happy with this, select yes, and this will submit the document for review and sign off. Now that we've completed editing a letter, we will have a look at the ambulatory function of Fluency for Transcription. To do this, you'll need to close out of the app and access the web link. You can see here that Fluency for Transcription is an app, and then you have two web links for Ambulatory and Manager. We will now be looking at Ambulatory. Upon logging into Ambulatory, you will usually be prompted to log in with your username, password, and company ID. Please note that this company ID is different to the one used for Editor. Upon logging into Ambulatory, ensure that you are in the Pending Distribution section at the top. These are all documents that have been signed off but are yet to be printed and cleared from the list. To print a document, tick the box at the side, go to Bulk Actions, select Duplex Printing if you'd like the document to be double-sided, and then go to Smart Copies. Here you will see a preview of the document, and then you can print it by going to the printer icon and selecting the correct printer and amount of copies. Once you are happy with this and you've printed the document, you can select the two options below to clear from the list and indicate that the document has been sent for printing. Please do not do this until you have a physical copy of the document. There are other options to view the letter on Ambulatory. Hovering over the first option will open the document as a PDF. The next option will open the document as a rich text format or a Word document. And the final one will indicate that the document has been signed. Please note that a red circle in the Stat area indicates that this document is an urgent one. And as you can see under Notes, there is a battery icon indicating that this job has a note attached. To see what the note is, hover over the icon. Now that we've gone through Ambulatory, we will take a look at Manager. You can access this through Ambulatory itself or through the Manager web link. Firstly, I will show you how to access Manager through the web link. Here you will be prompted to sign in with your username, password and company ID. For both Ambulatory and Manager, the company ID is 506177. Through Manager, you are able to conduct a search of the documents to see their current status. You can conduct various system searches, i.e. active jobs, client facility, by dictator, job ID, subject or work type. I will now conduct a search using the client facility option. Firstly, select which client facility it is you wish to see. In this example, we will look at UHP training. And then you can determine the date range. Here we will look at all documents from the previous month. Upon searching, you can see all documents from this client facility within the set date range. You can also edit your results to look at your desired options. In this example, I will also include stage and stat. Doing this means I can now also see which documents are stat and at what stage they are at. You can move the columns along so that your desired columns are in a more prominent area. Here you can see the different stages of each of the documents. By clicking Stage, you can also filter the list. Completed and finished documents have been signed off by the clinician and have been distributed to GP through DocMan. E-sign signifies that the secretary has transcribed the letter and uploaded it back to the clinician to sign off. Editor tells us that the clinician has sent the document to the secretary for transcription. And Fluency Flex lets us know that the clinician has created the document but has currently saved it as a draft. Finally, you can also use Fluency for Transcription Manager to edit your password. Select the Change Password option, input your old password and your new desired one. Please note that Editor has a separate password to both Manager and Ambulatory. However, all of them will need to be changed on Manager. You can do this simply by changing the login and company ID on the Manager login screen.